Hi, everybody. I'm Jamie Vaughn with Singing News Magazine, and I am here today with some of my favorite gentlemen, the Oak Ridge Boys. I've got Dwayne and Joe, William Lee, and Richard. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good,
We're
good.
great.
Hi,
How are
We're
you
Jamie.
doing
doing?
great.
I'm doing
I'm
great
doing great
too.
too.
You've got a
You've got a
brand new
brand new
album
album
coming out on
coming out on
June
June
11th
11th.
called Front Porch Singing. And William, I'd love to know how how the new album came about.
Well, it was Dave Cobb's idea to do the front porch singing thing after coming to see the Oak Ridge Boys do a Christmas show.
Uh-huh.
And we have a fireplace scene where we're all sit around with the rocking chairs and we talk to the people about where we came from individually and childhood memories and did songs from our childhood. And after the show, Dave Cobb, our producer, called Dwayne and he talked to him about it and told him that he felt like that he would like to do the next project with a front porch feel, with people sitting on the front porch singing, kind of like the old days back south,
Mhm.
where people would do that. And anyhow, that's kind of how it came about originally. And then Dwayne and some of the guys got together with writing some of the new songs for the project, and we went back and got old songs. So it was a mixture of old time songs and brand new songs.
Yeah. So I would love to know what the inspiration was for that, Joe.
Well, the inspiration was to build upon what William Lee just said, was to get in the studio. You know, we've been around a long time. We've done a lot of things, and you always look for something new and fresh,
Right.
and a fresh approach anyway to the creative process. And the whole front porch singing idea, as Golden said, was four guys singing with our voices out front, old songs, new songs, very sparse instrumentation, and to do something meaningful, to do
Mhm.
something that would touch people's hearts. And I think some of the old gospel songs we put on there will do that. We have a couple of brand new songs, one called Love, Life, and Healing, and another that just released for download called Life is Beautiful.
Mhm.
That is the kind of songs that I think people need to hear in this day and age. It's been a good year and past the year of loss and sacrifice for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And as you know, people in the music industry have suffered greatly. It doesn't matter if you're a first chair violinist in the symphony, if you're a star on Broadway, if you're singing gospel or country or rock and roll or rap music, you've been out of work.
Yeah.
And for the most part, everybody around you in your circumference has been out of work because of it. So we're all starting to find our way back a little bit.
Mhm.
And for us to go in the studio last August during the height of this pandemic and to see each other every day and to play off each other and to do some new music together, it just meant the world. And we were really hoping that that feeling that we had in the studio would transcend into this album and this music. And I believe it has. And so we're all really excited about the fact that during this particular time, we have such an inspirational piece of music coming out.
Yeah. I would love to hear from each of you what your favorite song on the album is.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I can pick a favorite song. I like the selections
Mhm.
that feature each individual on this album. Uh, I think probably David had a lot to do with picking the songs that each individual would sing.
Mhm.
And I like his choices very much. We haven't talked about this very much, but I think there's a song on there that William Lee sings that reminds me of how we used to sing out in the country. And it's all about the way, especially he and I grew up.
Mhm.
It talks about the old ways of growing up out in the country.
Mhm.
And when I heard that song that David found for William Lee to sing, I thought, man, this song, if William Lee had just sat down and written the lyrics down to his life,
Mhm.
this would have been it. And it's kind of the way the whole album went.
Mhm.
There's a song that Joe sings that it was so well written for him
Mhm.
that we didn't even sing anything until the end, and we put some oohs on the ending. And Richard will probably talk about songs off of the last couple of albums that toward the end of the session, David Cobb realized we're having a lead for Richard. Well, that changed because overnight, David Cobb got his stable of writers to write songs, especially for Richard.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear those songs on this album as well as on our last Christmas album. They just fit Richard's voice to a T. I like the song that is currently released as a single, Life is Beautiful, written by Keb Mo. When the song was sent to me, it was like an earworm. It got in my head. I couldn't get it out. I had to go back and re-listen to it several times the first day. And when I got up the next day, the first thing I wanted to do is go listen to that song again. And I listened to it several times. And when I find a song like that I just can't get through my day unless I listen to it again, I feel like that might be something that is meant for me to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I carried that to the session, and I played it first for the boys, and everybody loved it. So I guess probably that song means a lot to me, but there are several songs on the album that also mean a lot to me. So I'll just say, I think we went a long way to creating an album that is a lot better than we realized we were cutting.
Well put.
Yeah. Do you other guys have a song that's your favorite?
Wayne mentioned the song Promised Land that I sang. I think that song is very, very meaningful because it gives people the hope of heaven as we have the promise of heaven as it is. And thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ and his sacrifice and rising from the grave, we have that kind of promise. And that's what that song is. And it's a very tender, emotional song about it. I don't know that it's my favorite on the album because I don't know that I can pick a favorite because I really do, like Dwayne said, I just love everything we did on there. I'll tell you something that's really cool is hearing Richard sing Red River Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And how that came about was really kind of cool because Dave was talking about doing some old kind of country song that we'd enjoy singing on the front porch, maybe some old Western song. And Dwayne's been a Sons of the Pioneers and fan of all those good old Western campfire songs forever. And he's always wanted to hear Richard sing Red River Valley. And so we said, Richard, man, go sing Red River Valley. And next thing you know, Richard's behind the mic singing Red. Thank you. I can't
by my side, if you love me. I mean, and we put Red River Valley on this album. You know, it's just something that if you were out on the front porch and you were singing with a bunch of friends, that song might come up.
Mm-hmm.
And we want that whole vibe. That's what we were looking for on this album.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good mixture of old songs that you will recognize,
Mm-hmm.
and songs that were written especially for this album with that same vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but new songs.
Yeah.
And here you go. You know, you all know you're singing news. You know good and well about our gospel background.
Yes.
Well, one day Dave Cobb says to us, "Okay, is there a gospel song out there somewhere that you guys just sing together? That just like you've maybe never even recorded it, maybe never even put it on stage, but if you're on the bus getting ready for a show, and somebody starts singing it, that everybody kind of joins in, and you have something like that." And we did this.
Why don't you swing down, sweet cherry stopping, let me ride.
Swing down, chariot stopping, let me ride. Rock me, Lord, come and easy. I've got a home on the other side. And then Dave Cobb says, "Get behind the mics, let's do it."
Oh, wow. So that came about quick.
Yeah, just like that. We came up with that, and we did a little Life's Railway to Heaven the same way, and just a cappella singing.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave said, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah.
And so that's how we ended up with some really cool old gospel songs on there too, which kind of, reflect our roots and our heritage, which a lot of our music does anyway, but it just fit.
Yeah. So Richard, do you have a favorite one? They seem to be singing your praises through all of this.
You know, it's hard to pick out a favorite. This album is so outstanding. There's a great mixture of new songs, as Dwayne said, you know, old songs. It's a great balance, you know. But one song that we kind of touched on that Dave Cobb had his writers, his stable of writers to write, especially for me, called Rock of My Soul, Jesus, Rock of My Soul. And it kind of, I know this is being in the singing news, some of your older gospel fans will know the Statesman. This song kind of reminds me of a song that Big Chief and the old Statesman would sing. And I kind of try to get into that feel when I did it. It was something, you know, we realized that I did not have lead vocal, and Dave wanted to get his writers to write a song. They just wrote it overnight. You know, we came into the studio the next day, he played the demo, and there we were out there singing it. You know, less than 24 hours. But before it was an idea, then it became a final product. You know, it's amazing how, you know, you can do things, especially working with Dave Cobb.
Yeah. How about you, William Lee? Do you have a favorite?
Well, the new song, the "Life Is Beautiful," is it's one that kind of sticks in your mind, or it does for me, and it has since the first time we all sang it together. And it's a great sing-along chorus song too. But it's anyhow, it just has a very positive message. And Dwayne sings the lead, but it's Kip Moe wrote the song, as he mentioned, and it's just a great feel-good song.
Yeah,
And
I love
what we like, feeling good too, you know, and it's kind of time for everybody to start feeling good.
Yeah, I love that y'all are singing a Kev Mo song. That adds a cool factor to everything, I think. Dwayne, y'all have been around for so long. You've done country, you've done gospel, and you're a group that has kind of stood the test of time. Why do you think that is when so many artists seem to fall to the wayside now?
I don't know why they fall by the wayside, but I know why we're still around. We have always recorded good songs. In fact, I'll go one better than that. We have always recorded great songs. We don't just record any song just because somebody wrote it for us or is as a favor to someone. It has to have meaning. It has to belong. And if you listen to any of our country or way back gospel albums, there were usually 2 or 3 songs that were singles off of those albums, every one of them, because gospel companies were putting out singles back during those days as well. But there were anywhere from 10 to 12 songs on every one of those albums. Well, a lot of acts, when they get their main songs, then they fill them up with songs that they publish or own or that they write themselves. And they may not be as good as the ones that are pushed. And those that are pushed for a reason. Well, we never did buy into that. There were songs that were pushed because they were great, but it didn't mean that the other songs were not great as well. It's just that those came first.
Right.
And that the record label only did 2 or 3. So now that we have been around so long, people are going deep into our albums and finding that When Karen Comes Around is a great song. Freckles is a great song. Dig a Little Deeper in the Well is a great song. Dancing the Night Away is a great song. And Take This Heart and Give It to a Charity is a great song. And sometimes those songs come up on radio and I almost wrecked my car. You know, wow, man, why didn't they single that? Well, they just weren't singling that many songs off the album. But when we were recording, we recorded every song as if it would be our next single. It was that important. So we put a lot of emphasis on recording great songs. I just hate to buy an album by anybody, and when I've listened to it through one time, I start skipping songs. I just hate that.
Yeah.
Why did they put that on there? Is that a favor?
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't belong on this album, doesn't belong on any album.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of, we don't do that. We put songs on there because they deserve to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the latter part of our career, that has paid off greatly for us because people know that we record quality material. When you buy our product, you know you're going to get a full album of great music.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the long haul, it's best to record great songs.
Yeah.
Because someone can be a great artist, but an inferior writer.
Mm-hmm.
And if they put their writing on there just because they wrote it, the weakest link in a chain controls the strength of that chain,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And so we don't do that. We record songs that are great.
Yeah.
And they have to come up to our standard of what a great song is. And when you do that, it has lasting effect.
And the other answer as to why we're still around, first of all, God has given us good health.
Mm-hmm.
We can still maintain a big schedule and sing those great songs on stage because God has blessed us.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, we just by God love to sing. That never wavers. It never changes. The four of us love to sing.
Yeah.
Our whole mantra is, well, let's sing.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's sing.
Well, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the 40th anniversary of Elvira. One of my very first memories of the Oak Ridge Boys, of hearing you, was when I was in kindergarten and a boy in my class brought a 45 record to school as show and tell, and we all danced around to it. That was way back in the 80s when the song first came out. Richard, what is it like to have a song that's so linked to your group and everybody expects to hear it?
Well, it's no question, it's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Elvira is our signature song. It's the song that everyone expects to hear when the Oak Ridge Boys come to town. Mm-hmm. It's just an infectious kind of a song. Mm-hmm. You cannot listen to Elvira without smiling. Right. You cannot listen to it without wanting to sing along. You know, in most cases, getting up and dancing with it. And if you're smiling and if you're singing, you're dancing, you're not worried about your troubles and your cares. You've escaped from that. And Elvira is that kind of a song. It helps you escape from the troubles and cares of this life, and it makes you happy. And I think that's one of the reasons, you know, it's been so successful for us. And we're honored to be able to have a record like that.
Yeah. Could I get a little bit of Elvira?
Oh, Elvira. There we go. Elvira. Elvira, my heart's on fire for Elvira.
Here we go, folks.
Giddy up,
Papa, mow, mow.
Giddy up,
Papa, mow, mow.
high, oh silver, away.
Put a tag on it. 1, 2, 3.
Elvira.
There we go.
Oh, you just made my day, and this has now been a career highlight for me.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, gentlemen. And everybody, make sure to go and get this album, however you consume your music now. June 11th, Front Porch Singing with the Oak Ridge Boys.
And they can download Love, Light, and Healing or Life is Beautiful right now.
Right now. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jim.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.